You're listening to The Monks. You're here with The Monks. I'm Josh.
I'm Heather.
And if you're enjoying listening to these podcasts, just taking a small little break from everything that's going on, getting a little laugh, hearing these two goofballs talk about whatever, give us a like. We would really appreciate a positive review. That would be stellar.
Mm-hmm. Or subscribe.
Or subscribe.
Follow. I don't know what
If
else.
you're watching a little video of us and it was funny, could you subscribe?
Share it.
Share the freaking thing. It ain't like you got to go down to the post office.
Don't upset them.
Sorry, that's true.
Trying to beg them to like and subscribe.
I can't even imagine what it was like during like the Pony Express era, though. It's like, oh, please jot this down. Go get some wax to close an envelope.
It was pretty.
Get a stamp.
It was a pretty easy process back then. It was like check mark yes or check mark no. Fold back up. Give.
Like yes or no to what? Anything.
Anything.
Like would you follow?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Check.
I don't see why not. Let's candle drip. Stamp. See, it's still a lot. Mm-hmm. We're just saying click a button.
We went to the California Academy of Science.
Oh, yeah.
For their R&B night. 21 and up, baby.
Nighttime event, y'all. Keeping it real sexy around this science.
Yeah.
It was really fun, actually.
It was super fun. And of course, we got there before it even opened. So we were like one of the first people in.
Not even got there. That's the second got there a little bit before it opened. We're such dorks that we got there a cool hour before it opened, went into a parking garage, get the parking ticket, get there, and you go, what time is this thing starting? I go, starts in about an hour. And you go, well, what are we going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. Stand in the cold was what I was thinking. And we're like, okay, I guess we'll go get food. Like, what are we doing? We can't just sit here in a subterranean parking garage.
Right. We hate waiting for stuff. We really like to get to a thing and then wait.
Yep.
We don't like waiting.
Both of us are similar in this way. If you say the thing starts at 6 and you're 5 minutes from it, I go, that's torture. Mm-hmm. It's torture. My greatest delight is when you have a thing that starts at a certain time. Like, it's one of the reasons I like most movie theater setups. It's like, okay, we're going to see this movie at XYZ time. They're typically around other stuff.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to be able to bop into some shops, a restaurant, something that kind of kills the time for you. And then you're like, cool. But you got eyes on it. Cool. But you got eyes on it. I mean, we're like that with freaking airplanes.
Oh, man.
You know? I was immediately pretty excited. It wasn't super crowded because, again, we're early, on the earlier tip. And the music was great.
The music was fantastic. It was
really
like
good DJ.
Old R&B hits, good deep cuts. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Learned probably not really that much, but looked at exhibits.
Looked at a lot of exhibits. I don't know that I'm going to be a big plaque reader. You want me to know something, you better take me by my shoulders.
Yeah, it better have a button
that
I push and it tells me.
Yep.
Because otherwise I'm not reading.
For real, I need somebody to almost stop me and go, hey, I just need to share some information with you. I go,
I'm here to peruse. I'm not here to promise anything we'll take.
No, I don't think that I'm a sponge in that way. I think, or if I'm a sponge that's so full it's already leaking what bits it has, and you can put it in soapy water if you want. I don't know if that's going to do much at this point, but I'm enjoying all the colors. I'm looking. Yeah. I'm enjoying that. Like going into a rainforest, sick. Yeah. Butterflies as far as the eye can see. Mm-hmm. That was beautiful, actually. The butterflies
really cool.
were beautiful.
Beautiful underwater exhibits. Mm-hmm. Really, really loved all of the coral exhibits.
It's like awe-inspiring.
And they were in shapes of mushrooms.
Yeah. I got us tickets to the planetarium. I'd never actually, as far as I could recall, I'd never been to an actual planetarium.
I had never been either.
Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe when I was a kid or something, I just don't have a memory. But as far as I know, had never been. 11 out of 10. I mean, I loved every second of it.
I was very scared the whole time we were waiting for it to start that I would be motion sick.
Oh, they did.
I kept thinking they said it a bunch, like, oh, you might be motion sick. Just close your eyes.
But again, that's a recording. It's not like they're coming around going like, guys, people have been really, they're just like, hey, it can happen. And our advice is super simple. I like when advice is this simple. They go, if you get motion sick, if it happens to you, close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
I said, I can do that. They're like, just close your eyes.
What if I forget? I don't know what to do when it happens.
And they literally said, and you're not the only one who thought that, because they said, close your eyes until you don't feel motion sick. Mm-hmm. That'll be a good time for you to know to open them again. And I said, okay, check in.
But they didn't say you should open them again. I didn't know if they were saying like, it'll pass because your eyes are shut and then at the end you can leave.
No, they were like, I think I inferred that you could open them again. They go.
You inferred that. I inferred keep them closed until the end.
I almost think
because if you open them again, you'll be motion sick.
Oh, it's worse now. Oh God, I'm in a different part of the solar system.
Good news, I didn't need to do it.
Not at all.
I kept it wide open.
I could have sat there for 3 hours just watching this thing on repeat.
I was like in a guided meditation trance. So
It was fantastic. It was kind of like guided meditation. It takes a lot for my brain to completely quiet down. And I actually find that like guided meditations are probably the best bet. It's like I need something going. Otherwise, my brain's just going.
I need Tom Hanks to narrate something beautiful for me to watch.
The only thing better than this is that we could have got Chet. Just doing that pigeon accent the whole way through. And I go, it's problematic. But you have to admit, you are paying attention. You're like, what's happening?
What's he saying?
This? Who is this, though?
Put the subtitles on.
Who is this? But it just says white guy. No. It just, like they're like, we're not doing it. He shouldn't be doing that.
The planetarium show was a 3-dimensional map of the real universe. So you kind of like drove around.
Yeah.
You and I love road trips. So this was great for us.
And the way that they do it, like the pulling out, like here's Earth. You get above Earth. You know, you just keep going.
Yeah. All the way out to the known observable universe, which is past our galaxy, past our supercluster. Is that right? I don't know.
Something of that
something.
I think there may have been a supercluster out there.
I remember one of the things he said was, for every star your eye can see unaided in the night sky, there's 50 million more behind it that you cannot see. So for every star you count, add 50 million to each one.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And here's the thing. Think about the time that we were in Joshua Tree. And I literally said, because sometimes you just can't process the real thing. It's like whenever people go to like Rome and they go like, oh, this is like Disney. You know, I was like, this is like a planetarium. I'd never seen stars like that. You could see the Milky Way. It was insanity.
It was beautiful.
And now I'm thinking of that line where I go, that's still observable with my naked eye. That wasn't with a telescope or anything strong, you know. So that means, I mean, when you see it like that, you just go, holy smoke. And also, that gets lost in the ear where they're like, for every star, there's 50 million more per star. I mean, like, you can't really kind of wrap your head around that.
We are, I mean, it felt, I had just like out of body in terms of like, I have these weird things sometimes, and it happens when I'm surrounded by people, but also feel very alone. A lot of times I feel it in traffic, or if maybe I'm in a crowd, but I have headphones on and I have these weird, like, but I'm thinking this and there's somebody right next to me and they don't know. And then I get very out of body existential. And I'm like, oh, how is this even happening?
Like, how am I me? I'm having my own little thoughts, my own little POV on this deal. But you're surrounded by people that you know are also doing that. And that's a great thing, because that means you're not like a sociopath.
Oh, does it?
It really is. Sociopaths and maybe psychopaths to a degree, it's like they can't comprehend that you have your own thoughts and feelings and dreams and hopes and, you know, and everything. That's one of the things that makes them so terrible, is that they can't I mean, like, just your reasoning of that, where you, like, I get what you're saying. Like, I feel isolated even though I'm surrounded. I think we all sometimes feel that way. But the fact that, you know, part of that is, because I'm having all these thoughts and feelings, and so is everybody else. Everybody's dancing to their own tune here. Yeah. I think that we had a similar feeling when it came to the planetarium show. Yeah. Where it was like, almost like this overwhelming, and I've had this before. It wasn't like this was the first time, but you're just reminded in the most positive way. Like, we are on a floating rock. And then when they keep pulling away, you're like, it's a speck of dust. Yeah. In this infinite beach. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like one grain of sand on this just never ending beach. Yep. We are in a snow globe. Yeah. It's like, I mean, but it makes me actually feel more calm. I go, it makes me go, I'm making mountains out of molehills whenever I'm worried about. I'm dust in the wind, baby. Yeah. Yeah. In the best possible way. It's like, nothing matters. Be cool to other people and live your life to the fullest, because like it doesn't matter. It makes me feel free to fully indulge and enjoy all the like majesty that this world actually has for me. I can't go to every stretch of the galaxy.
Right. Yeah. It kind of makes you take note of that flittering leaf that's falling in the, autumn, and just kind of like be more present, I guess. Yeah. It really made me feel good.
I really enjoyed it. I was so pumped that you had the same thing, because you are like, even in that moment, you and I are just like kind of taking it in. I will say, maybe upgrade the projection. I did feel it was a bit cloudy. That was my only note.
Really? I felt like, could I get it? Can my seat lay?
That's
can I lay?
Could we recline, and could we? Because
I don't want to even stretch my neck.
Because there's always got to be some note. There's always a note. Could we recline? Yeah. I am a bit.
Even though I'm a speck of dust, but I don't want to.
Because even though I'm a speck of dust, my neck does get a little. It's hard to go that way.
We should have brought neck pillows.
Ooh, neck. I'm telling you though, I would go once a month and watch this planetarium show, and it also kind of reminds you that like the ecosystem wins, because even if this planet were to go bye, it's like. Universe still exists. Another universe exists outside. It just goes on and on.
I actually went after we went to the planetarium and found Tom Hanks's script.
I know you have it.
I did print it from February 2000.
It's not recent.
No, this is 25 years old. So we could absolutely know more about this universe. We could have several more stops. We don't know.
Then I got to find something, because I'm like, wait a minute, was that the most? Because the whole thing was, this is the observable universe?
Yeah.
Right? Like, so this thing could have been a lot bigger, maybe.
Maybe now we can see the unobservable universe.
Yeah. Well, like, who knows? Now they're just like, hey.
Yeah.
People passing in ships. I'm like, well, I would have loved to have seen that. What are we doing? We didn't show any of that stuff. The planetarium thing kicked us off. Like, we were like, all right. And then it just so happened that a movie you've been waiting to see was available to like purchase or rent on Prime finally. We're not going to go. We've been waiting to see it. We're not going to a theater over it.
I don't even know if it came out in the theaters, because it was a documentary.
What was the name of that movie?
It was called The Age of Disclosure.
Okay. And you'd been waiting for it because basically...
I saw that it was at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
And that people really liked it. And it had a lot of high-level government officials in it.
That's true.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. It did seem to have, like, credible people talking about basically UFOs. Like, and the whole thing was kind of more or less that all these people are like, hey, I think we're at a place in human history that we, at least with what we control here in the States, need to declassify at least a good portion of what we know. And the one guy kind of indicated, and he was, I don't know everybody's title. Everybody was like an expert. Everybody had worked within these programs and different things. Some people were senators and Congress people, but it was all people that were somewhat privy, all the way up to people who were like, hey, I flat out like absolutely worked in a part of the government that like reported sightings would go through us type of thing.
Right. And some of them were on the crash retrieval teams, and some were doing reverse engineering and studying the crash site materials. But
they could barely talk about anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know. I was like, okay, we believe you. Stop trying to convince us. I believe you. Let's get into the deets.
They can't. That was their point. That
was the documentary. Just
the whole point is like, look, the one guy was like, I really think if we could declassify some of this stuff, if we could just talk about it, that it may change even the world over kind of how we're dealing with each other. Yeah. And I thought, oh, okay, that's good and bad. Because that sounded like, hey, guys, you might want to realize, like, you need to let go of your squabbles with each other. You need to get past that. We're watching old Tommy Hanks take us around. The technology can only take us so far in this video. And we ain't seeing nothing. And some people see that and go, see, there's nothing out there. And other people go, that's what we can get our eyes on.
You're not like investigating each star.
And you can't even begin. I just don't have that type of brain. When I think about the vastness of the universe, and somebody pretty much the whole time that I can remember, if somebody's like, do you think that there could be life other than here? I'm like, absolutely. How could there not be?
It's just, that would be so arrogant to say no. My grandfather said that he saw a ship one time, and it was back, I would say in the 50s, maybe, a cigar-shaped ship that he saw. And that is one of the ones that they said is the shape of several that they've discussed.
Well, that was a big thing they discussed in this. The thing that your grandfather saw, no wings, things like that. That was a big thing. They talked about how the propulsion happens. And they're like, we're not seeing jet stream. We're not seeing wings. It's a completely different technology. Like that was one of the things that I'm watching people that are in the Navy, the Air Force, that are in aviation.
Astrophysicists.
People who are very high level that have a very strong mind for how we fly around. And they're going, we do not have, I mean, here's the thing, the aviators are going, we don't have anything in the known world that can do what this is doing.
Right.
Like they're
These
coming
maneuvers
from out of the atmosphere into our atmosphere and then hitting water at speeds that we can't go because they were talking about our planes. And they said our planes go about 4,500 miles.
4,600 miles per hour.
4,600. Call it a gentleman's 4,600 miles per hour. They're clocking these things at over 40,000 miles per hour.
Plus.
Yeah.
They said 40,000 or more.
Right. And they're making maneuvers where like even at that 4,000 mile per hour range to make like a right turn. You need the turning radius of like half of the state of Ohio to maneuver that plane. You cannot just it'll crush the pilot in G-force. It'll rip them apart. Like they can't. There's only so many things you can put a human body through. Yeah.
My favorite part of the documentary was when they were explaining what they have kind of figured out. And it's a theory because they don't have, how
of course.
Can they say
how you gonna prove it? They won't.
These are technologies that we can't comprehend right now at our brain capacity.
Yeah.
How they're bending physics and stuff like this. They believe that they have some sort of energy field around that basically manipulates the molecules and the space-time in that area to almost like how a surfer surfs a wave. It's surfing where it's going.
It's doing it in a way where it's changing instantly. Like when you come from out of the atmosphere into our atmosphere, it's like those molecules aren't affecting it. Right. And then when it hits the water at these speeds, those molecules of the water.
Not a ripple in the water.
And that's the thing. There is footage. I mean, there's flatly footage where you're like blip, blop. And I go, that would absolutely toast anything.
Right.
That
so
we know.
So basically whatever their ship or their hangout space to drive it is within this force field. Yeah.
One of the physicists was like, well, I've certainly chatted with and interviewed people that have spent time in these vessels that were recovered. And one of the things they said was like time didn't do what they thought. They thought they were in there for a matter of minutes. And when they came out, hours had gone by. That's what's kind of prompted the theory. And again, you have to believe this guy's not a nutter. You have to believe he has had these conversations with people that he believes. Another one was people describing like going into a ship that's a certain size, not the biggest thing in the world. And when they get in, it's the size of a football stadium, things that are changing. Like they were just like, there's so many things that operate outside of what we know in physics.
Right. Honestly, it's operating in a place where my brain goes, I can't understand this. I can't comprehend. I can't comprehend. I can comprehend losing time, like different time somehow. Yeah. I don't know. But like going in and it being a different size, that's crazy. My theory on aliens, I like to imagine they're so advanced in terms of empathy that they don't, that's why they're not harming us. Right. And that's how they got to this level of technology, because they were able to grow in a positive environment where they're just constantly moving forward with knowledge. Yeah. Or maybe a hive mind situation, but
but it does track. Hive mind is scarier. Yeah. Because that's like, okay, there could be one controlling force, and it's like, what I mean? Because ants can do some amazing things, but I wouldn't want to run. Like, I don't want it to be a space. Like, whenever people talk about, like, what could they be? I go, boy, I hope it's not Starship Troopers. I don't want to fight the bugs. Like, I was like, oh, God, it's scared. There are so many movies, but one that really stands out to me that absolutely shook me to my core. I'm probably 10 when I see this movie, Fire in the Sky. There's an abduction scene in there I'll never not remember. It's basically just like this wet, almost like embryonic, like film over his face, just like... And then they pop a hole and they put the thing in. I'm on my bike riding home after this movie. There's nothing better than that. Like, I look back at the time, but like when you're a kid and you're absolutely shook, but it's like, I got to go home. I got to go home to a bunch of people who don't even understand what me and my buddy just saw. Like they can't even process this with me. And you're going to have to wait till you can hop on a landline to get back on there and be like, dude, what the? So I'm just pedaling as the sun is setting and it kind of looks like fire in the sky. And I'm like, I got to get home stat. Like I am not trying to get zapped out of here.
Yeah.
I don't think I got it in me. And then that, you know what that movie did teach me though? Even at a young age, I said, nobody believed him. Everybody mocked him. This is a guy that yesterday everybody thought was normal, understands. He comes back, tells his story. They're like, nut job. Yeah. Like he's lost his absolute mind.
I would not want to be abducted. I wouldn't want to be abducted. I probably wouldn't even want to see an alien face to face. No. But I think it would be cool to see a ship.
Oh yeah. We found biological materials, which is like a fancy way of trying to say like we found it's got an alien in it. It had aliens or an alien in it.
Well, I watched that hearing for Congress, and it was when he said we found non-human biologics, I remember being like, whoa, he said it.
Yeah. That's a big deal. And everybody said, anyway, so let's squabble about, let's be awful to each other. And I'm like, what? He said biologics. That's crazy. And they straight up were like, we found ships. Like, that's what I mean. I go, there is a point where I go, enough stuff is pointing where I'm like, come on, guys. I look at our world. I said this the other night. I was like, everything that's like amazing in our world, like electricity and air travel, this is 0.1% of the human populace that brings 99.9% of us these things, right? Yeah. Gun to my head, if somebody said, how's a turbine work? I'd go, I don't know.
I'd go, what's a turbine?
Why do you have a gun? Huh? I would have answered that with sans gun. Why are you doing that? Because the rest of the 99.9 were like, oh, I just got a gun. I don't know. I thought this is how I get answers. I'm using this thing to hammer nails down. I don't know. I just know this will protect me.
I also kind of think, don't abduct me. I don't know that kind of stuff. You'll look at my brain, you'll go, barely anything in here. Yeah. She doesn't have a good diet, so I can't map what human beings should be.
Yeah, I'm not a primo. If you're going to abduct somebody, abduct Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. What you doing with me? You need a before photo? like, what are you trying to do? Trying to see what high triglyceride might look like? Don't take me. For lack of a better term, one of the smarts said.
Yeah.
You had your smarts, you had your tracker guys, like I'm ex-military and ex this, and I'm doing. So one of the smarts,
the docs.
One of the docs, yeah.
One of the scientists.
One of the scientists, physicist type people. They said that as far as they can tell, it appears that the power that this thing would be utilizing is 100 times the daily use of the entire U.S. So you think about all of the United States for an entire day, its consumption of power, and this is 100 times that just to operate. And you had a good point. They are known to fly over basically everything nuclear in the world.
Everything nuclear. They're always seen at nuclear facilities. Anytime there's a nuclear event, anytime that there's a melt, or when that one was hit by the tsunami. Yep. Anytime something like that happens, there's a lot of
reported activity.
Yeah, reported alien activity. But also over all of military bases constantly. Yeah. There's a lot.
And it is a known thing that
UAP.
And what does that stand for? Do you remember?
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah. That one of these went over a nuclear base in the U.S. and turned off the nukes and turned them back on.
There's actually been several reports, because I watched a couple of different documentaries that had different people talking about when they were working and
just in the U.S.
Yes, something like that happened.
But also Russia had it happen.
What they did was they were pointing at us, the U.S., and they turned them on. So somehow from there, wherever they are, over it, which they're seeing them, somehow able to from there control that.
Nuclear weapons.
So it's like, we can't do anything. So we might as well just be interested in it,
That's what one of the smarts said. He was like, look, you have to look at that information, and you kind of have to, for now, say they don't mean us harm. Because if they did, there's not a thing we could do about it. They're turning off and on our most potent weapon that we have on the entire planet at will. that kind of lets you think like they could do whatever they want. But he's, the analogy he gave is like, but if you have ants at the back of your property, way across your yard, you may not care. But if all of a sudden those ants get in your house, they may become a threat. So he was like, hey, we're doing our own thing. We're doing all the, I think it was part of the reason they thought maybe we should declassify some of this, because we're out here making moves and doing things. And one of these moves going to inadvertently make us seem threatening in some way, because we're still a million miles behind these folks. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not possible to bridge that gap. That's the biggest thing they're trying to do is, again, we can't help but be human about it. So they're trying to reverse engineer this technology so that they can be top human. Right. Instead of going, there could be bigger issues here. Like we might need to come together on this thing.
Some of the scary stuff that they said in the documentary that I felt very uncomfortable knowing this was that there's a deep, dark, secret program in the government called the Legacy Program. That's the program that's been running since the 40s, since the Roswell crash, that does have that ship, that does get ship retrievals, and it reverse engineers it. The scary part to me is that part of this group, which is the Air Force, the Department of Energy, CIA, and the scary one to me, defense contractors. So we're just handing over technology to reverse engineer it to corporations. Yep. And no one in the government has a handle on.
Well, like they said, this programs like this begin. And first off, you're being funded off book, basically, which means they're straight up lying about it.
They said in the Congress testimony, misappropriation of funds, right? Which
just means like flatly we're lying. We're saying that money's going here, but it's going here. That's how we fund this. Yeah. So the other thing is, like the guy said, he's like, look, whenever like certain, like the president gets sworn in, they don't just take you to see all the stuff. Like that doesn't make sense, because it's a job that comes and goes. At the end of the year, you're here for 4 years, maybe 8, and then you're gone. So they have these things that started, that they get these private contractors, which are just corporations, involved. And before you know it, the people that were involved in it are no longer there. And it got watered down almost like a story. It's not like a thing that people really know about. So all of a sudden, these corporations are in control of technology. And we paid for it. Right. And they're like,
and we have no say in what they do with it. And and I don't like that.
And that's the thing, like, that's what intrigued me is I go, if you go down that rabbit hole, I go, declassify, because I'd like to know what tech are we utilizing right now that can be traced back to something. That'd be very interesting.
It would be very interesting.
And if this is a true reality, it would be like very likely that something that we are using right now in our day-to-day lives in some capacity or another, whether it's in defense or in, just hard tech or whatever, that it could be from something like that.
They constantly talked about the U.S., Russia, and China, the big three, getting their, finding ships and retrieving them and, doing their reverse engineering and keeping everything secret and da-da-da. But I'm thinking we should look to South Korea. We should look to Japan.
That's true.
Because they're living in the year 3000 over there.
That's true. Their tech is off the charts. And part of that is societal. Like, they're very society-minded.
There's a lot of sightings also within the ocean. Coming up from the ocean, going into the ocean. Yeah. And we've only mapped about 20% of the ocean floor.
That's crazy.
We've only explored such a little percentage of the ocean. Yeah. That would be a great place to hide.
We have better footage of the surface of the moon and Mars than we do of the surface of the ocean.
That's crazy, right?
That's very crazy.
Yeah.
So that was another theory, right? They were like, hey, another theory, because you're trying to figure out like, who are these people? So it's like, okay, they come from galaxies away and they have tech that got them here. One theory was, what if they're coming from something out of Earth, like from the sea? Doesn't mean they originated there, but like they have almost like a base there. Another one that I thought was interesting though is, what if they are human from a different time? Because then you're getting into interdimensional stuff where it's like, those are things too, again, for me.
And it could be, because I don't think it's just one person visiting. No. You know what I mean? I think there's so many different types of ships, types of species of non-human biologics that they've
that
discovered.
people, at least witnesses, have stated over the years.
That I think that if it was humans time traveling, which I'm not saying couldn't be a possibility for some, that they would have said human biologics.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. At least in that moment, that's true. They were pretty specific about those non-human biologics. Could you just say it how people say it then?
Everything in this documentary, I was like, and that's not how human beings talk. Are you all aliens? This ain't how human beings talk.
I completely get it. It's like you're talking about a thing that people have forever been like, you crazy, like the end, life ruined. So you're like, I'm trying to speak eloquently and intelligently and scientific, factoids and stuff, And I go, you guys say it for the masses, though. You got to be like, listen, there's a little bit of people in there.
Yeah. That is one thing that they did not get into. They didn't describe what any other species look like.
I think that's truly...
That's what I want. I like to hear what these guys look like.
Describe them to me.
I liked how much they described the different ships.
Oh, yeah.
The one that they were seeing repeatedly recently, like more and more and more sightings of this one specific one was the warp bubble, and it was a black cube inside. And
one reason that the warp bubble thing got to be a stronger theory is because we recently updated the radar in the planes that a lot of our military fly. So it is a better radar, and you can literally see something around these, like an orb around the actual materials. The whole thing is very interesting. And sometimes it is a little bit scary, where I still think I got a bit of that kid who saw a fire in the sky in me, where I'm like, I can't deal with this. There's so many things that I see. I think I have a pretty fair assessment of what I can deal with, and it ain't much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't much. Like, I don't like when I go to get croissants and the line's like going to be 20 minutes. I'm like, this is madness. This is madness. Like, I'm looking at people, I'm like, this ain't right what they're doing to us. Like, this ain't right. And they go, we'll be up there in a second. I'm like, I know. It's just this long line. So I know if they're putting me in a tub of goo, making me like a battery for their ship or something, like, or just like going to probe everything. Because everybody's scared of the probe. Everybody talks about the probe. Everybody's like, I don't want the probe.
But you know what? I go, what's up your butt? Nothing really. So I think they're so smart, they don't need to look up your butt. When the Roswell crash happened, and the government took possession, and there was like local newspaper articles, and then they went like worldwide, and the government was like, oh crap, and they were like, nuh-uh. I really feel like that up the butt stuff, it was put out as like reverse. It is misinformation, like reverse propaganda. Yeah, it was to scare you into like not wanting to
make everybody like they're gonna, because it's like if you come forward, then every one of your buddies is gonna go, that dude's been probed.
Yes,
did you hear about it?
And it was a good one. People are so afraid of stuff going up their butt.
That was the joke in Independence Day, right? Like they're kind of like, well, he's definitely had stuff up his butt. He's been probed. And I go, first off, everybody goes up the butt. I go, that ain't the worst thing I can think of. That's the thing, guys. I got a killer imagination. I go, I got a urethra donor. I go, I get abducted. They go, all right, let's just take out all his teeth. I go, whoa, what? Take out all his teeth, pop his teeth. We're science guys. Like, we're just taking teeth. Have you seen what our science guys do?
Yes.
Like, and what they did?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I get up in that ship. I'm like, I got to go full crazy. I need you to be like, I'm not hanging out. Like, how do I know you don't go, let's pop his ear, see what happens there? And I go, what? I'm going full craze.
I just kind of thought, they're so much more advanced than we are. They're probably going to just be able to kind of like look at you with their eyeballs and scan you down and go, okay, got it.
Actually, that's a great point. It's like, all right, so they're doing stuff that nothing's ever done, but the best they can come up with is a probe.
That's what I mean. It's so archaic that I just know it's
like
it's
a
propaganda from our government.
Yeah, it's like, no, dude, you're right. They're going to walk in and be like a human CT machine. They go, yep, all good. Saw it. First off, we have that technology. Like, if I grab an alien, I don't gotta go through its urethra. I can just put it in a CT machine.
Right. You're not at the level of human that would probe up a butt. Even in the 40s.
No.
So you got to think if they're getting here, they're definitely past that.
You know what's crazy? I feel like we just put them wherever we were. Like in the 40s, we were probing butts.
Oh,
like,
you think we were probing butts?
100%. I feel like they were like, the 40s is probably when they go, hey, you know what we need to do? When you get about 45, we need to probe your butt. We just found that out this year. That was like a this year thing. So of course now every story's like, oh, they're going to probe your butt. And they go, no, we just found probing butts. They done all that. They're a million miles past probing a butt.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it started with just probing a butt. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, we're going to call this a colonoscopy. We're really, now we got cameras involved. We can grab some polyps if we need to. Heck, you can watch if you want. Who knows where we'll be next? Martin Sheen, I'll take him in a pill and he'll go check it out. I don't know.
Was he the guy that was in that Epcot thing?
What? He was in the movie where he got in the guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was also thinking, in Epcot?
Florida kids want everything Epcot. There are other things that Martin Sheen's done than at Epcot. There's only Florida kids do that kind of stuff. Oh, you mean like the Arnold Schwarzenegger when he did a Planet Hollywood ad? I'm like, nobody knows that as a reference. Nobody knows your super inside baseball theme park videos that stars were forced to make as part of their contracts.
I love those videos.
Of course, everybody does. I do absolutely love those things though, where I'm like, this was
in the Epcot where you would kind of walk through and you would have like little different science stuff.
When we went to that science center, that we went to the planetarium and everything, you sometimes buzz through like a museum atmosphere or just anywhere. Like really, you got ground to cover. Like I think you relate to the aliens. You go, we got to map it all, map all of it. You want to map everything within our galaxy that we can measure.
Yeah.
Because you hit things and you're just like buzzing by. Bear. Did you see the bear? And you just keep whizzing by and you're like, over here, it's got that. Okay, did you get eyes on it? Okay, keep moving. I'm like, I was going to read the thing.
You weren't going to read the thing.
I was going to read the thing. You were going
to push the button so that it talked.
That's true. If it'll read it for me. But you whip through, you're like, giraffe. Were those real giraffes, by the way?
Well,
at one time, these are stuffed giraffes or these are completely fake?
No, they got to be real taxidermy.
Oh, that's crazy to me. To see something as tall as a giraffe taxidermied is an insane thing, actually.
It was crazy.
I was like, this weird. Is too tall. Because I can just see the day at the office for the taxidermy. Like, he's not psyched. Like, I bet whenever
he's got to be like, this is my moment. This is like his Super Bowl.
When they called him,
this was his Super Bowl.
Yeah, it is. When they called him, he had that energy. Then he saw a giraffe. This is the guy they called. He ain't ever seen a giraffe in real life. He's been a taxidermy guy in North America. He ain't seen a giraffe. I'm assuming the taxidermy was done here. I guess they could have done that wherever the giraffes were. I just assume it had to be a guy here who's like, just they deliver it. He's like, oh my God, it's so tall. It's crazy tall.
When you picture him, does he look just like you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just me going, oh my God. I took this gig. I'm a one-man band. I can't stuff this much. Is that what I'm doing? I'm stuffing it, right? Is that what taxidermy is? You just stuffing stuff in it?
I don't know. I think you're doing some formaldehyde work.
Are you really? What a wild statement. I do some formaldehyde work. It's not my preferred, but I do some. Oh, okay, good. We were thinking maybe we might need a little formaldehyde.
It's not my main medium.
It's not my main medium. It's not my main medium. It isn't. But I dabble in formaldehyde work. Just a little bit of popping out what's naturally there and a little bit of pumping in what ain't. But I can't imagine they formaldehyde stuff to taxidermy. Do they?
I don't know.
It feels like, can I just tell you, I'm just going to say what I think taxidermy is. Is it drying out things? Is it like letting it rot to a point where it's just like, okay, and now you can put it back in your living room?
I don't know.
Because you know how like when a dog first goes on a lawn, it's like, yeah, this is a mess. There's a lot of stuff going on. But if you come back like 2 months later, you're like, yeah, this is just a dry turd. You could do anything you want with the thing. You would be comfortable to hold it. It's barely feces to you at this point. And it's like, give it 2 years. 2 years, it's like a fossil. It's like, yeah, no problem. You're scratching your face with it if you're not paying attention. So I just go, is that what they're doing? Am I just waiting for a bird to harden up or something? I really don't understand taxidermy.
Yeah, and I don't either, obviously.
And I've seen it portrayed so many times in Psycho and Psycho-adjacent pictures.
Oh, you know what they always do? Okay, I think here's what they do. I know it. They skin it, and then they put it over a thing that's the shape of the thing.
Okay.
And that's what they do.
And they stuff, so it's not, wait a minute.
It's like a wig head, and then you put the wig on it.
Is that true?
I think so.
Oh, I'm going to have to. Can I Google real quick
Google
what taxidermy is? I feel like this may not be a Google I want. Taxidermy an animal involves skinning, preserving the hide. Good job, Heather. Skinning and preserving the hide, creating a replica body form, and remounting the skin over the form. Psychotic.
When you said it's in movies, I was like, oh, I know how they do it now. I remember watching.
Psychotic.
For science.
For science. Is it for science?
Yeah. Do you think that was not for science? For us to be able to see what that would be like? A lot of people will never see a giraffe in real life.
That's
what museums are for.
Oh, I thought it was more.
You got to glance it and you got to move on.
Get out of here. We did, and it was very interesting.
Yeah.
They had a swampland thing there, and we were like, Southern swampland, it said. And we were like, we've been
Pass.
there. Yeah, we're all right. We'll get that on the next one.
Ooh, does it come equipped with its own mosquitoes?
Yeah, we'll do that one next. So, and I just want to say for the record, and I'll leave it. So you were like, no, taxidermy, no big deal?
I don't.
You're like that. You're like.
I kind of think that I don't like killing things for taxidermy purposes.
Yeah.
But I think if something, I'm sure those were zoo. Don't you think that's what they do with zoo animals? I would assume is like things like that because they
get preserved in some form, at least sometimes.
Yeah.
I just remember
it's not like they're killing them for
being
it.
at my uncle's house, and he always had like the hog head and the deer, and I'm like,
that's gross to me. And also that's just their head, so it's also kind of gross.
Oh, it's just the head. You wouldn't want the whole thing. Well, I mean, sometimes they do, I know, but like for his purposes, he's like, I can't just have like 4 grown deer in here.
Yeah.
That would be kind of nuts though, where they're like, did you see? I'm like, yeah, it's all I see. It's like mostly
surrounding me.
I got so many full grown bucks around me.
Oh man, you know what I just pictured? Like everybody's sitting at dinner and there's 4 people sitting, but there's a deer next to each person, but they're like, but you can put stuff on it.
Oh, okay. It's like kind of a table.
Like a table that goes around you.
Just a table goes around you. We hauled them out a little bit if you want to step into the deer. At what point would you be at that dinner party going, these people are insane. I need to get out of here.
As soon as I got there.
I wish I could say
if you have a full-grown deer at your house, yeah, I think you're insane. I don't want to be here.
You know what's funny though? I feel like we'd be saying that while stepped into the concaved rib cage of a deer table, where I'd go, I don't want to be here. I think it's weird. I can't believe that we're standing in a deer right now. But I know I wouldn't want to be rude. I go, look, I think we just give these people.
Yeah, no, I'd be rude.
I think we just give these people.
Actually, would it be rude? I'd just not want.
What would you say? Would you comment on the deer?
Oh, I'm sorry. This doesn't feel like my vibe.
All right, I'm going to be the person who's going, hey, welcome. Come on in.
Okay. I see you have a lot of stuffed deer around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. We pride ourselves on our stuffed deers.
Oh, okay. It seems like we're totally opposite people that really I don't want to be near this.
You love animals, don't you?
Okay. Bye.
Hello?
No, oh God.
You'd be gone.
I would make it quick. I'd be like, oh, I'm not going to come in. Okay, bye.
This is me. No, I'm still inside. Yeah, I saddled up on one of the deer. I didn't want to hurt their feelings. Oh, no, it's insane. It's insane. It's insane, and we'll debrief. I'm stuck at a deer table.
I would be afraid they would hurt me. I don't know.
Really?
It'd be like weird. I don't know.
Oh, no, they'd be weird. There's no way you're standing in deers and being like, no, we're not. No, what are we talking about? Weird. All right, Heather. Any otherworldly thoughts, feelings, or jokes?
I have one final thought.
Okay.
I want to leave with the scariest quote I felt from the documentary.
Leave them scaring more.
Woo. The Age of Disclosure, and I recommend that, and I definitely recommend a planetarium visit.
Oh yeah,
so good.
It was really fun. What's this? This is a line from the.
This is
the movie?
a quote from one of the guys, the main guy, and he stepped down from the company so that he could go to the media and kind of try to get Congress to pass stuff to open up these classified files.
Yeah,
because he felt like it was important that we are, made aware of what is in this.
And he's
program.
the guy who says this line.
He says this line.
Okay.
Spooky.
Okay.
What happens when society realizes everything it's been taught about the entire history of our species has been wrong, and everybody learns all at once that we're not the top of the food chain? We're not the alpha predators.
That's his line?
That's the quote. That is, he said. Isn't that scary?
It isn't not scary.
Yeah. But
like your mom's not going to kiss you on the forehead and then read that to you. And you're like, what? I just said, what if everything that you ever thought to be true weren't true? And what if it come to light that you were actually just a prey, not a predator? Go to bed. Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a line.
But you know what? It's like kind of comforting. It's like a blanket of chalk it up to there could be an earthquake tonight kind of feeling for me.
Well, it's funny. It's like when you're surrounded, like, we may not be this could be the greatest fear for all of humankind. We still got to worry about walking to our cars right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's the more pressing issue for everything is like whatever your pressing issue is.
Right. Would knowing that something else is out there make you kind of focus on what's in here, or would it only make you focus on what's out there?
Because at first, only what's out there. I don't think they tell me that and I go, boy, I got to focus on what. I go, what? They have video. What'd they do? What'd they say? We're the only, I'm sorry, everything I ever knew is not right and we're prey. I don't love it. I'd probably think about it a little bit.
I kind of took it the alpha predators to be like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we are always like stomping around about.
Yeah.
We're not being harmed.
Yeah.
So let's focus on this. But I do worry that would make people focus on that instead of make here even worse somehow. I don't know.
Maybe eventually it would. It's just like, it would take some like mental shifting to just for a lot of people to just kind of go, that's a thing. Like that's clearly a thing. I think there'd be a lot of people who would be like, I didn't process that well. That would be my fear. I go, is this going to be beneficial?
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with a bunch of people like having an existential crisis. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Can you imagine like a billion people all like just like what, I'm like, no, not this loud. This is
I've always felt this way my whole life.
Yeah.
Not that we're probably, there's no way that there's nothing else. So I never really thought it was of it, as being that crushing of news to me or shocking.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I think it's just one of those things where like it's one thing to even like do this, like kind of go, I think it'll be like that. I think it'll be like that. See it in movies and and all these kind of things, and even like see some documentary and some stuff that you go, I think this is this seems pretty like legit. This guy's going in front. But it's still another thing to just be like, and we're definitively like just like water is wet. That is also a factoid that now you must completely wrap your head around. I'd be like, that's weird. That is weird though. It's weird to just have like, I don't know. I think there's like, I can't even articulate it because it's like something we don't even know until we saw it and we'd be like, oh, that is okay. That's weird. Yeah. That's a thing I'm going to think about.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, go to bed.
I love you.
I love you.
We didn't hit record. We didn't hit record.